Coach, up to second place with the point. You happy with that?
Not really, to be honest, and not out of arrogance or greed, but maybe the match itself. We were not as fluid. Maybe pound for pound made it difficult for us. And I felt, okay, they did come at us, but the match itself, first half, in my opinion, we looked better in terms of fluidity, connection of passes, and almost creating chances. But the one chance that I would regret is the one beginning of the match, where from the build-up play, and then the ball was played across, and UKG could not just get to the end of the ball from Umabasa. Had we scored that goal, the game would have been different. And then again, we're being put under pressure to start from the back, and then we manipulated the structure a bit to create more spaces and rotate players more, and it seemed to be giving us some joy. But still, we didn't create clear-cut chances. Second half just drained us. It was just stop, start, without any fluidity. And even a person who was watching the match, I don't think they enjoyed the second half. Only here and there, one would have loved to have a game that is more fluid, coming from either side. I don't know whether is it maybe your tactical matches or stalemate or whatever it is, but personally I didn't enjoy the match. With regards to the 1 point, we'll take it. Would have loved to have 3. Position 2, hey, the Sundowns gap is too big, man. 24 points, we are 14, and both on 8. It's quite big, even though we know that Mamelodi Sundowns has raised the bar in many levels. But I think we should try put them under pressure, make the league more competitive. They must feel the pressure. They can't be on cruise mode for too long. We'll stay there, and obviously Golden Arrow still has to honor their fixture to make 8, and then we'll see what happens from there. But happy, not entirely, but one has to. You have to be grateful for whatever you receive. I wish we could have had 3 points, and it was possible we could have.
On that note, you've got 2 weeks to prepare for Sundowns and next after the break. So, what you planning on doing during that period?
It goes back. I think it was Mazola who asked a question with regards to momentum and then stop, start. It's gonna be a bit difficult. Maybe by the time they come, we would have done our work at training. We would have played maybe practice matches, but they are not the same. You would have loved to play against Mamelodi Sundowns at the back of some sort of rhythm, match fitness, and some sort of having a feel of the match. The feel of the match then would have been a little bit distanced, but the occasion itself is going to invite some emotion. And we'll be looking forward to that and see how far back are we from them. Because to be honest with you, one has to concede. They've raised the bar. We're chasing them. So whatever happens on the day, it will be a question of, okay, let's see how far close are we from them. But it's just going to be one of those matches that are quite tense.
Coach, just an injury update on Allen.
Keegan Allen is recovering well. He's actually they removed the plaster. He's just on a brace, and he's training with us, even though we're trying to avoid contact. He's a neutral player. He's working on his fitness. In no time, maybe 2 weeks should be, but one has to go to medics to get the exact time frame or time of his coming back. But he's training well. He's okay. He's just desperate to come back. There was moments where training he ended up, you can see he tackles and all that. He also falls on the hand and all that. We say to him, listen, kid, you gotta take it easy because it's still a long way. The season is still long, but he's so desperate to come back. And it's nice to have a player who's injured, but desperately wanting to come back. So it's just about us to look after incidents that may set him back, reoccurrence, injury again and all that. But I think so far so good. We've managed it so well up until this far.
And on that, Coach, how eager are you to have him back? I suppose you do want the pairing of the two that you use now, Kwanda
and CB.
To have an understanding, but at the same time, complacency can creep in.
That's true. And he's quite brave. He's quite brave. If you remember how he got injured by the corner, I'm sure we're playing. Was it Cape Town, Spurs? Yeah, I think it was Spurs. You saw how he is very committed to an extent where one feels you can't be so overly committed. Sometimes you need to be a little bit calmer, use more brains than broad. But when he comes back, then it will give a wonderful opportunity to say you have Wanda, bless you. You have Usibia, and then he's in the mix. You still have Utunate. You still have Usipo Sibia, the brother to Vos. So then you can make your choices. That's where then you'll start to have headache. But it's nice to have everybody available. It becomes a nice headache. Because come to think of it, if anything were to happen to maybe Kwanda, okay, you have Juju. If anything happens to Uvusi, okay, you have Ulona, Usipo. But when we have all of them available, you have that luxury to choose as of, okay, this match is a little bit tough. It needs someone who's aggressive, someone good in the air, someone who can use the ball. So you literally have choices. So if we have him back, it will be a plus. We can't wait.
Coach, when you accepted this responsibility of coaching Swallows, did you imagine to yourself second on the log after 8 matches? And I'm saying this with respect.
Okay. I get what you say. All that I did, I brought my skill. Obviously, you know that there's going to be challenges in environments where you get appointed. And the fact that the environment was not as clear based on where I came from, it would have been very difficult, honestly, for me to say, I know that we'll win the league. I know that we'll be in position 2. But looking at the work we've been doing, looking at the players we have, even though we may not necessarily have the depth, but I think the players we have are responding appropriately. And I'm not surprised, but by where we at. In fact, in my honest opinion, we could, worst case scenario, have been at 16 points as we speak. And it would still mean that 16 points position 2. Now, based on the work we've seen come out. But coming in that I expected that, I would be lying. All that I knew was that there was an opportunity to develop something from a product of years with heritage and history to try and see if we could revive it, bless you say. Which is why even when we were in camp in Potchefstroom, we termed it the Renaissance, the rebirth. Moroka Swallows. I hope it will be, but I never anticipated that at this time would be here. But it's a great position to be at, even though, to be very honest, we still have a long way to go. There's 22 matches to play. 22. Still going to be a lot of battles along the way.
Coach, just still on that narration, if I may call it that, the difference between you leaving a team where the spotlight was not on you as an individual, with all the facilities and every other thing that you had there, and then coming to a Swallows that is not as well equipped in everything as compared to Sundowns, as compared to Kaizer Chiefs, as compared to Paris, and you've been within those environments. Coming here, what did it take for you to say, I'm going to go there and try to fix this, when you know very well that you're going to hit some challenges? I mean, just to take you back, at Bloemfontein, you would pay the lawnmower, the petrol, and you would sometimes assist players to come to work because they never had money. All those stories that you've spoken about. Were you not, in a way, worried to say, look, I'm taking myself back to where I used to be, living the world of milk and honey, if I may call it?
I think my upbringing gave me a great introduction to adversity. And my upbringing never introduced me to Ugbai Cheese Boy. As such, my upbringing just gave me the when I'm Cheese Boy. If Mazola were to make a choice between leaving Mamelodi Sundowns and coming to Moroka Swallows, I Mazola would say, listen, let me rethink my decisions. Anyway, kidding Zo. I think, listen, like any person, you wouldn't have loved to see yourself leaving a position like Mamelodi Sundowns. Everyone would wish to see themselves in Parktown. Everyone would love to see themselves at Naturena because it's quite comfortable and cushy. But in every blessing lies a burden. And sometimes it is always best to go to modest environments where you can literally develop a product. And in modest environments, there's a higher level of appreciation than environments that are used to success and all that. It wasn't easy, but what made it easy to me was I come from nothing, Shaba. I'm a product of making yourself, and as such, you are not attached to luxury because you were not brought out of luxury, you were not born out of luxury. So even places that do not have, you could go and live in a town with one donkey or one horse and take into LA, you can go live in Los Angeles even without having a problem. So you gotta be at a level where you understand that an opportunity in an environment that does not have calls for your expertise, that you should come and be part of that improvement. It's a beautiful challenge. Also, when you get to an environment that has everything, it does give pleasure, it does give some sort of satisfaction to see progress, but not entirely, because to be honest with you, the environment is quite enabling. And not trying to say the Moroka Swallows environment is not enabling, but there's more challenges. And as I would always say to people, the greatest growth happens in discomfort. I'm not the same person at Sundowns as I am now. The biggest challenge is that if you were to twist and turn things around, could species in an environment that is enabling, could they survive here and be at this level? You will never know. And also, would you then have been better off or be exactly where you at with this feeling and emotion if this environment was quite enabling like you would find in other clubs in the league? That is also a question. But I'm happy that I took up the challenge, and it is exciting to see the product come through because our focus is more on the product. The outcome and the results are just the byproduct of it. I'm enjoying it. There's a lot of challenges, obviously, but it's quite something you look at and say, okay, let's see how we can go with this product. It's developing quite nicely. But I say thanks to my background.
Coach?
Yes, sir.
The spotlight has always been with the captain, particularly when after he made that error during the MTN 8.
Okay.
Now, what have you done to the mindset? Because we are seeing a different kind of disciplined player, and the motivation, because the way how he played today, personally, I would say he was outstanding.
If I had a way, I would say your colleagues must give you a round of applause. That's exactly what my dressing room was saying. I was asking, okay, Palani did very well. And the other question was, it could have also gone to AJ. This guy cuts balls, first passes, anticipates, leads the team, keeps the team together, works. And I think this is the second 90 minutes he completes. And to be honest, beginning of the whole journey, AJ was not at the level where he could complete 90 minutes. And if you remember, Lucas Muripe, he suffered a red card in the 4th minute. And those are all things that they come on top of you. And again, the spotlight is on him. But you never tell a dog to bark, man. A dog will always bark. You never ask for a crocodile to bite. Crocodile will always bite. All you need to do is to throw enticing stuff to develop the instinct. AJ does not need to be told what to do. He needs to be presented with scenarios to solve. You sharpen a knife by brushing it against a sharp stone. That's what happens.
Thank you, colleagues. Thank you, Coach.
I hope you understand.